today's problem in trucking.
Morning, everybody. We are doing an art load, which was a little bit crazy.
Come on, this way.
Oh my God, which way?
Race.
Leave in the comments where you think we are.
I know a place where we can go and be alone.
It is super windy out there. It's calling for some pretty good storms down here in Memphis today.
So come away with me, nobody has to know.
I swear I keep thinking somebody's gonna be in these trees.
Where we gonna go?
You getting cold?
For sure, bro.
I ain't scared to go outside, bro.
Then go.
Be right back.
Go, run tail.
I mean, I could basically see his.
I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me. To run away with me.
What's up, guys? Oh man, still sitting here in Reno at this baseball field. Just got done putting everything in the back of the truck. I'm sure that you've seen this by now. And never again will I do another baseball load. So, future Michael, a year from now, when you're thinking about doing another baseball load, go back to this channel and watch this clip and remind yourself to do not do another baseball load. Because that was terrible. It's 100 degrees. Apparently this is the biggest one that they've ever done. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I felt like I touched about at least 2,300 pieces.
Really? Come on now.
Some way, shape, or form. I think I dropped one on my toe.
Oh shit.
That was bad.
This whole experience was annoying. And what's really bad about it is I'm only halfway done with it. I get to drive 2 days to Oklahoma City and do it all over again. So it's gonna be awesome.
Are you good,
You
bro?
can see me sweating still. We're drivers. We don't load trucks. But I didn't sign up for that. So I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's more work than we've done in our entire trucking career here or at Panther. Panther was a no-touch company, so we rarely ever did anything there. And even here, like, I mean, if it's anything, it's like using a pallet jack and, you know, taking a pallet off or something. But as far as physical labor, like, yeah, we haven't had to do it. This load didn't pay enough for that. They didn't pay enough to have to do it twice.
It makes sense on why we got the load.
Yeah, we bid this load up from, what was it, like
31.
31 to 42.99. And we got the load. And I can see why, because nobody else was stupid enough to take it. Nobody else wanted it. And we've seen pictures, like, from other drivers that said that they've done these baseball loads, and they sent us pictures, and it looked like not even half a truck. Like, not even half the truck was used. But this load, we were wondering the whole time if we were going to have enough room in our truck.
That was bad.
It was terrible.
I mean, we probably put, what? How many pieces do you think we put back there?
I don't know. I set this camera up and I put record, but I'm not sure how much it got before it went dead. So hopefully you guys will see a time lapse showing you how many pieces that was. If not, then you'll see a time lapse showing you half of it until it cuts off.
I got pictures of it
but,
too.
Yeah, them pictures don't do it justice though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how many pieces that was. It was a lot. It was a lot of bags. I mean, I wish I knew what team this was, but this is like a professional baseball team, I think. I don't know if it's professional or...
Yeah, it is. It is.
We're in Sacramento at this stadium, and we're taking it to a stadium in Oklahoma City. I'm not sure. I need to find out though, because I mean, we've seen a lot of the players and stuff, but I don't really follow baseball. I've never really been that big. I was younger when I was into baseball, but I don't know much about it now, so I don't know. I think I seen some of the bags said something in B's, and then some of them said A's, so I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and make sure I filmed a clip to bitch about this for a second, because at some point future me is going to come back and watch this clip. There's going to be enough time go by and we're going to be sitting somewhere and there's going to be a good load pop up that we've been needing, and it's going to be a baseball load, and then we're going to discuss it. It's going to be like, well, wasn't that bad, was it? I don't even remember. But nope, I can go back to this clip and future Michael, it is that bad, so do not take it. I mean, unless they're paying you a shit ton of money.
Well, like I said, that makes sense on why I got it.
And I don't even know what the definition of a shit ton of money is, but it would have to be a literal shit ton of money for me to even consider. And what makes it even worse is our reefer just went out. The alternator on our reefer went out. And so if it was working, we could have turned that on, the refrigerator back there, and stayed cool and done it. But of course, the alternator went out. So as soon as we drop this, we have to go to a carrier and get that fixed. So that made it a little bit worse. And the fact that they claimed that this is the biggest one that's ever happened made it worse. Anyway, I mean, enough of the rant. I don't know how much of this I'll put in the video, but this is really for my records. I guess we're gonna get on down the road and head to Oklahoma City. We got 1,624 miles to get there. Right now it says we're gonna be there at 7:48 tomorrow night. And it delivers the next morning at 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
So we get to get up early and do this early, first thing in the morning, and that's gonna be fun. All right, guys. We'll see you down the road.
When I get drunk and talk to God, I say I'm sorry for all the things I'm not. I mean every word I say, and I promise I can change. When I get drunk and talk to God.
We are going through Flagstaff right now, the top of Flagstaff, Grand Canyon area.
Tell him why we're through. I tell him all the things I did and didn't do. I'll say I can't be alone. He'll say, son, you're on your own. 'Cause when I talk to God, I tell him why we're through. I wish that I could go to church, but I'm too ashamed of me. I hate the fact it takes a bottle to get me on my knees. And I hope he'll forgive the things you ain't forgot. When I get drunk and talk to God.
She changed her flight so that she could stay with Harvey an additional night. She was fly out with her friend who testified against her. She was in town with her friend who testified
and he was obviously deceased, and has been taken off his shirt to do immediate care. It was obvious that
much larger than 2 million.
First, he said he was going to leave it to Ina, and then they were fighting, and a couple months ago, he sold off. It ended up being 37.
The wait for the time being is completely reasonable. Sam's story seems solid so far, but there's one tiny detail that just doesn't quite add up, and this detective has just picked up on it.
He said he dropped her out in front of Mike's house, and he watched her walk into the door. She got up. Okay, so you didn't see her get in the house, anything like that. So if she had walked away from there.
Sam's mental state was clearly deteriorating. Whatever happened to Aline, regardless of his involvement, was really getting to him. Following this, Sam will be placed in a psychiatric facility for the next 2 days, undergoing therapy and psychiatric care. During these 2 days, detectives were aiming to gather more intel on the case, this time by interviewing the family of Aline and Sam. They bring in both Justin Rever, Sam's son, and Nicole Scher, Aline's daughter, and both of them reveal significant details crucial to solving the case.
I just want to get especially as you can tell me you're talking about when it comes to your mom. So it's a relationship like that. I don't know that maybe he does definitely protect.
And then when we got to Oklahoma to drop it, that was a nightmare also. Because we kept trying to back in and our truck kept literally hitting the ground. It would not back into the dock.
The dock was like downhill like that, and we had the lift gate. And I get any of you guys that has the lift gate on the back, when you go down the hill and then it kind of levels out, the truck was bottoming out, so we couldn't get into the dock.
Yeah, so we couldn't even back up to a dock. So we
had
ended
to pull
up
over to another spot that they had, and then hand load everything off the same way we hand loaded everything on.
Oh,
and it was brutal. And it was on a hill, so everything that was the cases.
It was on a hill
wheels,
like this.
Yeah, all the cases on wheels. As soon as you unstrap them from the wall, they're gone.
Yeah.
I talk to God, I thank Him for the time. All those precious years that you were mine, all mine. And I know He's a busy man, and He'll help me if He can. So when I talk to God, I thank Him for time. I wish that I could go to church, but I'm too ashamed of me. I hate the fact it takes a bottle to get me on my knees. And I hope He'll forgive the things you ain't forgot. When I get drunk and talk to God. Oh, when I get drunk and talk to God.
I literally can't even see what's inside that hole, so.
Oh, you can't? Well, you might want to roll your windows down because you can see it better outside.
You see a yellow bar all the way back there. I'm assuming that's where the dock is, so.
There's a guy standing back there.
I don't see nobody, so.
Are you going to the...
Fuck is scraping?
Or scrape it?
I don't know what is scraping. If you want to go
Hold on,
look.
let me go look. The whole thing is laying on the ground back there. We're not going no further.
I need to pull back up.
Yeah. The bar that goes to the lift gate is on the pavement.
Well, how do they normally get trucks in here?
I don't know. Oh my God, that means we're gonna have to haul every bit of this. Yeah.
And she helped a lot, quite a bit, but it's still, it's a matter of how hot it is, how many pieces it is.
Yeah.
You know, you're at their mercy on when they
It was
come
torture.
out, and it just sucked. It sucked all the way around.
And now there was another FedEx truck there that loaded a different team out of there, and they didn't get much of nothing.
Yeah, their load didn't look bad at all.
And I was like, of course, because I told him, look, my friend says that they're not bad, they pay good. I convinced him into doing it, and then what do you know? It was like the worst load possible for him to have to do because I'm not much help in that situation.
Unless we're ever in like a desperate situation for a load, and it would have to be desperate.
Yeah.
Like I don't see me taking another baseball
Yeah.
load. Now some people like them because you get to go into the field, and I think you can watch the games
Yeah, you get to
for
watch
free
them for
and
free and
go
all
into the
that.
stadium and all that, hang out
Yeah.
if you want to. I mean, there's benefits to it. If you
Yeah.
get the light loads and you get used to it, you know, some people maybe like them. I didn't. We didn't like it.
Well, because it was a lot of physical labor for us.
They claimed that we got one of the biggest ones they've ever done.
Yeah.
So it was just too hot. If my reefer would have been working, maybe it wouldn't have been that bad. I don't know.
It would have still been
It
bad.
would have still sucked.
Those bags
but
were heavy.
At least it wouldn't have been drenched in sweat and like.
Yeah.
But anyway, that we took that load to when we took it to Oklahoma City. At that point, we decided to go get our reefer fixed because we needed to get back home because our 30-day notice was pretty much about up. So we were trying to just find a load to get us home so we could take the truck back and get into our new truck.
Yeah.
So there was a carrier right there. It was in Oklahoma City. Wasn't
Yeah, it was in Oklahoma City. I took it
Yeah.
there the next morning. Morning.
Well, we dropped our load, crappy baseball load in
Yeah.
Oklahoma City this morning.
It was an easier unload than it was loading all that stuff.
It was a little bit easier, but it still sucked.
Yeah.
Come straight from dropping the load in Oklahoma over to this carrier because the other night on the load before this one, the one that was going through Reno, the reefer started messing up, stopped working, and was giving us a low battery.
An alarm.
Yeah, the alarm was going off, and it was saying low battery. So, happened to be right out of Love's. It was like midnight, and we had them check the battery, and they did, and they said the battery was bad. So,
which it would show a bad battery if the alternator's not charging it.
but it was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they said that they couldn't. If they put in a new battery, that I'd have to wait until in the morning, and we had to deliver in the morning. I don't remember where this was, but I think it was like 500 miles or so shy of Reno.
It was.
So we ended up just having to buy the battery, and I put it in, which obviously is not that big a deal. It's just one battery, and that got the reefer back working. But then after we delivered, it started. Actually, as we were delivering, I think it started messing up again, like 30 minutes before we delivered. This time throwing the alternator code. So I think the whole time it was probably the alternator, not the battery. So now this last load we did after that baseball load, it wasn't a temperature load, so we didn't need the reefer for that one.
That baseball load was a nightmare, and we will never do another one.
It was absolutely terrible. From beginning to end.
And we definitely didn't get paid enough for them to claim that you might have to help load and unload. Might is like, I don't even know why it has the word might in there. Like, we physically had to load and unload that whole truck.
Yeah. I tried to get footage of us loading, and you guys, if it worked, then you've already seen probably how many pieces it was, because I had set the camera up back there, but I think it went dead at some point. So. And I haven't looked at it yet at this point, but in real time, you guys have already seen whether or not it worked or not. So, but yeah, it was a nightmare. Never do a baseball load again, unless it's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna stick with never. Now we're in Oklahoma City, trying to get this. I guess the alternator probably is what the deal is, fixed on this reefer. And then
try to find the load home.
Pretty much just trying to work our way home at this point.
Yeah.
So we can start our transition.
Yeah.
I'll walk over, see behind me, there's a phone up across the road. I'll walk over there and get something. It's like, what time is it, like 10 o'clock in the morning? On a Tuesday morning right now.
It's early.
And then down that way, you see back there, that's a Love's, so.
Look, that's a CRST driving school.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, there's a CRST driving school right there. When we did ours, it was Alliance. What was that name?
Yeah, Alliance. Out of
Alliance Tractor Trailer Training.
North Carolina.
In Asheville, I believe. Asheville, North Carolina. That's where we got ours at. It took us about a month. Because we actually have a Class A with no restrictions. We started out.
And tanker.
Yeah, hazmat endorsement, tanker. I thought we had another one. Yeah, we were planning on driving tractor trailers. We did for a little bit. When we trained in school, we had to drive an 8-speed Freightliner.
It was absolutely a piece of crap.
And then when we trained for our first job, we had to drive a 10-speed Mack. And then the first truck we got at that job that was going to be our truck was a 13-speed Peterbilt.
Which we drove all the way.
Slap shift, I think it's what it's called.
We drove it all the way to Washington State.
Yeah. So we drove the tractor trailer for a little bit. And then we came across the straight trucks and all that, realized that we can make pretty much just as much money, if not more, as an owner-operator in a straight truck and have an easier truck to drive, more room in the truck. We can get these trucks in pretty much anywhere, so been doing that ever since. And then, probably you've already seen this too, but right outside of Albuquerque last night, I literally sit in traffic for like 3 hours because of a wreck. And that made us about 20 minutes late because it was supposed to deliver at 7. I think we got there like 7:15. So I literally just sit there in traffic. I'm pretty sure it was right around the 3-hour mark. Yeah, that's where we're at this point. Tuesday morning, Oklahoma City at a carrier. Just trying to get this thing fixed so we can try to head home. What do you want to do? You want to walk over there to sign?
Yeah, I guess we can get us some eat as long as they're okay with the dog unit.
Alright, we'll see you guys later. We took
After
it
we
in there
drive.
and what was wrong with it? Was it the
It was the alternator.
alternator?
Yeah, we
And the belts.
Yeah, and the belt.
Yeah. And they
No,
had to
it was
order-
the belts. We thought it was the alternator,
It was the
but it was the
belts.
belts. Our belts were broke.
Yeah, and they had to order them, so we ended up
Staying at a Love's
right
across the road.
at a Love's,
Yeah.
staying the night to the next day until they got the belts in.
Yeah.
We walked, I think that night we walked over to, there was a Brahms. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brahms. I think that's how you say it,
Yeah.
Braum. But it's like a burger place, but I think it's really more like an ice cream place.
Man, we got an ice cream from there, and I got like orange sherbet, and it was so good.
Oh, just sitting here outside of this Love. You can see our truck right there. Still waiting for tomorrow to get our reefer fixed. Walked over there to that Brahms. I don't know if you guys have ever ate at Brahms or not, but the food was terrible. But the ice cream is excellent.
Really good.
Really hot. I got like a sundae and Becky got like a sherbet, orange sherbet cone. We're sitting here in this dog area, let Reese run around before we call it a day. Went in Subway, but wanted to get one of those hot honey subs. They didn't have any honey, so we walked over to Brahms. We ate at Brahms like one time many years ago when we first started, and I didn't remember if we liked it or not, but now I remember. It was pretty terrible. I mean, I doubt any of you guys watching would like it.
I think people just probably go there for the ice cream.
Yeah, I think it would be probably closed down if they didn't have ice cream.
Their ice cream is good though.
Yeah, I'll go back. I might go back tomorrow just for ice cream. If I'm still here. But yeah, we're gonna let Larissa run around this little area, finish eating our ice cream, and then we're gonna get in the truck and call it a day. Doing a little bit of editing, find a movie, find something to watch on TV. And then hopefully we can do a load tomorrow. Cross your fingers. See you guys later. I got some kind of
Brownie fudge something.
something. I don't know what I got.
I got
It was
orange
really good.
sherbet in a waffle cone, and it was so good.
Yeah, I would definitely go back there for some ice cream.
Yeah. So we ended up staying there till the next morning, and they fixed our stuff, and then I ended up getting us a load out of Missouri, Earth City, Missouri, to Norcross, Georgia. Excuse me. And the deadhead was 507, and the loaded was 578. Now this load was terrible, but I needed a way home.
Yeah.
We had to get back home. Yeah, because we had to get this truck cleaned out, the truck cleaned up, and get to the next truck. So, but it ended up paying $12.56. Well, I'd say $1,300 with the 75 on the deadhead. I mean, we made $532 off of that load. Like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was, but again, we were on a deadline. We needed to get back. Like,
guys. We got to St. Louis for our pickup in the morning, and haven't ate yet. So I called this place across the road. IMO'S Pizza. IMO'S. That's what it looks like. IMO'S. Right across from this Walmart, and just got it. I haven't tried anything but the pizza. Here's what the pizza looks like. We just got like a thin crust, pepperoni, and bacon. I've already tried that.
It's good.
They're actually really good, in my opinion. And we got that to split up, and
All right.
I got, well, they gave me a brown bag, but I got an IMO'S special sub. Actually looks pretty good, too. And then Becky got
Can't really see it.
meat sauce. I guess garlic bread.
Look
That
at
looks
sub.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a BLT or?
It said IMO'S special. It's like
Oh.
different kinds of meat, I guess. Lettuce, tomato, and pickles and stuff. But yeah, we got to pick up in the morning and take it to Georgia. And then we'll be going home from there.
Yep.
And that's when everything changes. So
Yep.
I just thought I'd jump on here and show you guys. I'll jump back on here when we get done eating and give you like what we really think of the food. But so far, just based on the pizza I tasted, is excellent. But we'll see if it was just the first bite. I'm hungry and it fooled me type of thing. But I'll let you know in a little bit. Well, we finished eating at the IMO'S, and
That's very important.
after eating all of it, I stick with my original thoughts on the pizza. I think it's really good. Let me show you guys the pizza a little better. It's just a thin crust with pepperoni and bacon, but I think the pizza is really good. And the sandwich I got, I ate a whole half and then half of the other half. So I ate 3/4 of the sandwich. It was good. IMO'S special. But the spaghetti, she didn't like.
It was disgusting.
Says it was disgusting. It was supposed to be spaghetti with meat sauce. It looked like it was just spaghetti with marinara sauce to me.
But the marinara sauce didn't have a good taste.
Oh, really?
I mean, if it would have had a
It
good
didn't look that
taste,
great, to
then
be
it
honest,
would not have been that bad. But it didn't have, like, it was the taste of it made it all bad.
I personally would 100% park at this Walmart and order from this place again, and I would order pizza again. I'd order a sandwich. I definitely wouldn't order the spaghetti, but I think the pizza and the sandwich was definitely worth ordering. So
good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday. I'm on my way to go pick up our last load. I'm 4.1 miles away. We're gonna go pick it up. You guys can ride along with me. Let's go. We sat for the last few days until we got this load. After we dropped that load in Reno, actually we dropped that load in Oklahoma, the baseball load. And then we just got this load picking up out of Missouri, going to Georgia, so we can go home. Trying to figure out what's the best way to get out of here. Oh, now they did leave a message on the ceiling telling us that there is no room over here and that the dock is extremely tight, and so I don't know what I'm gonna be getting myself into this way. So I'm half a mile away. over to the side right here. So I don't know exactly where the building is. And I need to look because it's very confusing. And the phone and the tablet are telling me, like always. Okay, so apparently it's took me the wrong way. No surprise there, huh, guys? So I need to turn around and come back across. It's a little bit confusing here this morning. So we're gonna turn around down in there. Yeah. Oh, it's all the way across town where I need to go. I put it back in the GPS and it already said that we've made it there again. Like, it's just how people get themselves in situations because the GPS sometimes don't even take you to nothing. Okay, we have made it here. Let's show you guys what this looks like. This way. With you around. You see that tiny little gate right there? Apparently there's a dock in there. A tiny dock. And there's a van and a truck there. So I guess we'll see how it is to get back in there this morning.
This is the Missouri and Illinois state line across the bridge. We just went into Illinois.
Friday morning, and it's 6:30 in the morning, and I just got pulled in here to drop my load, which wasn't even supposed to drop till 8. But I want you to look at this parking lot and how tight it is in here. Like over there is the gate, and you pull in the gate, and you have a straight path over to the trash can, and somehow you're supposed to flip this thing around and put it in the dock that's behind me over here, with all of these van trucks, all this sitting here in the way. It took me a minute, I ain't gonna lie. It took me a little bit to get it worked in here, but it was either that or I have to go use my lift gate and take the pallet off myself, because he told me to back into the dock. They don't make it easy. But anyway, this is the last load in this truck. I just dropped it, and now I'm heading home. So, fill you in on that later.
We dropped it in Georgia, and
Yeah.
at that point we were a couple hundred miles away from
Yeah,
our
we just
house,
drove
so
home.
it was time to call it. At that point, that was
Yeah.
our last load in the that truck that we were in, and it was time to go home, and
Yeah.
that's what we did. I mean, we went home and we spent the next couple days. We cleaned the truck, we washed the truck on the way home, but then we spent the next couple days when we were home getting everything out of that truck, and we basically put it in our Panther truck to have somewhere to store it. It would have been way easier if we had the new truck there, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So we had to get everything out of that truck, and then we had to rent a car to drive to Fort Wayne in the car to get our new truck, which I guess we'll save that for the next video. We'll pick it up once we we'll pick up from there on the next video with us going to Fort Wayne to pick up the new truck.
Well, we also had to come in because Michael had to get his medical card done.
Yeah.
So we were on a tight deadline with that, and having to go to the DMV and all of that stuff too. The same time we needed to clean the truck up, take it back, so.
Yeah, it was a hectic little week that we had going on there with getting it fixed and getting everything back and everything, but we still ended up, even though we got a late start in the month, and we stopped like I think around the 23rd, I think, and I don't have the numbers. If I do, I'll put them on the screen, but I don't think I do. But I think we still came in 3rd place at R2R with like
we made $24,640.88.
Yeah, somebody in purse made $42,000.
Yeah, and somebody made 37.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we only made 24,640.88. We still came in 3rd. But
The whole time we were at R2R, our record was right at 38,000 for 1 month.
Yeah,
It was the best we did at R2R. But there's money to be made. I mean, $30,000 ain't nothing to laugh at. If you can make that in a month, that's good, especially if you own the truck. I mean,
yeah, but I would like to say that we ended up making like other plans and going back to ES, but I just wanted to say in this video, because maybe they watch my videos, that I do appreciate that R2R took us on when they did, and the fact that they let us stay with them, and they wanted us to stay with them. They did not want us to leave. But I just want to say that we do appreciate the fact that, they took us on. They gave us the training we needed to be able to be where we are now. So we do appreciate that.
oh yeah, there's absolutely no hard feelings or no negative words to say about the old owners or the new owners.
Yeah, and
of
they
that
actually
company.
have a truck empty if anybody's interested, and they are great people to run for.
Yeah, if any of you guys are watching these videos because you're thinking about getting into this or driving a straight truck, and you're looking at owners and you want to go to FedEx and you see the ad, R2R, we would highly recommend going with them, because they give you all your bonuses. They got extra
Yeah, you
bonuses.
can reach out to us in the comments and we'll help you. Like, they have a truck empty if anybody's interested.
Yeah, some of the places don't give you all of your bonus, and they actually have extra bonuses that other places don't give you. They have their own bonuses. So, and you can get up to 42% there, I think, after like a year.
Yeah.
And they're amazing to work for.
Yeah.
So,
They are. I mean, anytime we needed anything, they were right there on it.
and if anything ever happened and we needed to drive for an owner again, like that would be our first call.
Yeah.
Like, because they were great.
But they
had
are.
nothing to do with them.
Yeah, they are in the process right now looking for a team for that last truck that they do have.
Yeah, they had one, and for some reason it didn't
They
work
just
out.
didn't show up.
Well,
Yeah, they
that's what
just
it
didn't
was.
show up. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
As far as I know, they don't have one yet.
it's the same truck that we was running in. There's a whole video on our channel showing you what the truck looks like. But if you guys are interested, like I said, hit us up in the comments because they are looking for a team. And I told them that I would throw this out here for you guys, see if anybody, you know, is interested. It's hard to get on with FedEx. So if the truck comes open and you're trying to get on with FedEx, you might want to jump on it because they don't come open very often.
Yeah. Well, they're great to drive for, and
People don't leave.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I appreciate them taking us when they did because it's hard to get on with FedEx. But
you have to have a Class B to drive one of these trucks, by the way.
yeah,
You have to have a CDL, but you only have to have a Class B. We have a Class A with plenty of endorsements. We just choose to drive this truck because it's way better.
yeah,
I'd much rather be in one of these than a tractor trailer, to be honest.
yeah. But I guess we'll see you guys on the next video. Please like and subscribe.
Yep, you guys are awesome. Thanks
Leave us
for
some
watching.
comments.
See you
Bye,
next
guys.
Sunday. Bye, guys.
Well, guys, we finally finished our 30-day notice, but it only cause I stepped in and took over editing. That's why you haven't seen much Reese causing busy and don't have time to be the star right now, jeez. On our next video, we will jump in a rental car and head to Indiana to get our new truck. So Reese hopes to see all you guys next Sunday, and if you want to see more Reese, just tell me in the comments and I will take over for sure. And remember, every mile is a story, so thanks for being part of ours. And of course you already know that Reese loves ya. See you next Sunday. Bye for now.
Take a quick flip of the outside real quick. Alright, let's see what the outside looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks good enough anyway.